Okay, everybody. So this week on Monsters at Work, um, after last episode's failure of Tyler to impress Miss Flint with his jokesters uh, audition in the simulator, um, Ty- Ty- Tyler pretty much accepts the fact that um, being a mister is probably all he's ever going to be in the Monsters Inc. company. And and the day that he finally decides to embrace his fate also happens to be the day where the entire company pays tribute to everybody's favorite Mr. David. What and a, and David is a former mentor who 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 was basically the perfect employee, probably only next to Sully, um at the maintenance department part of the job. I mean, da- David once fixed 27 doors in a day. He would eat in the hallway on his way to lunch, and on the way to a separate repair, I mean, and and he would always be full of wise and noble wisdom to pass along to his fellow mentors. Well, basically, guys, according to Cutter, uh, for 4 years ago on this year's David Day, um, David was trying to fix a doorknob that on a door that was due to be put through the shredder. Well, tragically, guys, David ended up getting caught in the shredder himself, and and sadly, all that was left of him was this one strand of hair that that ever since David's passing, every day the entire company celebrates David Day, and especially Tyler, Val, Duncan, Cutter, and Fritz by lighting the candle of remembrance and taking a second to admire David's hair. Well, the conflict of this week's episode is that 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 while the other mythers are taking part in David's tribute traditions, um, uh, Tyler offers to go feed Duncan's precious pet Roto, and what ends up happening is Roto ends up eating the treasured piece of David's hair. So Tyler, desperately wanting to be just as reliable and beloved at the job as David was, tries endlessly to get Roto to cough up rather the piece of David's hair. But excuse my French here, guys. Roto puts Tyler through absolute hell and re- and refuses to cough up that hair. So and Roto eats the hair after Tyler volunteers to feed Roto, and even though Tyler tries and tries to catch him, he has no luck. So 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 he resorts to saying to Duncan and the other members of Myth that, gee, uh, I need some time time alone in the bathroom be, because I ate something that doesn't agree with my stomach. And Tyler even tries to take a piece of Rose's hair. Um, and at first, Rose is like, "What are you up to?" And then we get a cameo from Mike's rival Gary from the bowling episode, who did his paperwork on time like always. So 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 after learning that David had his accident in Doris Shredder B, um, and Tyler ended up chasing Rolo down there, but 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 is still unable to to get Rolo to spit out David's uh, last remaining piece of air, and Tyler almost ends up sharing the same fate as David. To where while Tyler's knocked out, he he ends up having a unconscious meeting with David's spirit, and it's through this that that Rose finally agrees to to give Tyler a piece of her hair because her hair is almost identical to David's. But when Tyler asks how did you do this, Rose basically answered with, "You don't wanna know." But Val, Duncan, Cutter, and Fritz are able to tell immediately that that's not really David's hair. And Tyler admits what happened, and Rolo finally does cough up the hair, only to figure out that David was one of those monsters that kept shedding, and cut and Cutter had tons of David's hair left over that she keeps under the stairs. So basically, guys, Tyler went through this whole ordeal for nothing, but but maybe with only sadly one episode left to go now. Um, Tyler is finally on his way to maybe becoming not as beloved as David was to the Myth family, but but maybe he is on the way to making sure that David's legacy of being committed to Myth and Monsters Inc. lives on.